This video will show you how to create a different type of page. The type of page that we're going to look at creating now is what's known as a form, which is subtly different from a quiz. Let's scroll up, and what we can see here as we scroll upwards through the page is that when we get to the top here, we've got the bold section, which is the page we're currently on, the VLE support section. Now, if we hit create there, then that creates a new page within that section. So I'm just going to hit create there. I can title this what I like, so I'm going to call it sample form page. And what I'm now going to do is to hit more templates, which is just here. I'm circling my cursor around it now. If I hit more templates, and then I select form here and hit done, and then hit done again. Now, the nature of a form page is different from the questions that one collects in a quiz, a class quiz, in so much as all we're doing here is collecting information. So the question types are the same, and I'll just go through that again. Sorry, I was going too quickly. At the top here in the editing toolbar, if I hit question, then I have the same format of questions, but with a few extra options than in the quiz function. So here I similarly have multiple choice. So if I'm wanting to collect people's choices from a collection of different options, that's quite easy to do. I can get them, for example, let's say if I were doing this for, I wanting to know which thing they wanted. Let's just have a look. I'm wittering. The text function. So let's imagine that I am wanting to ask a class and survey some information from them. So, which text do you think you need more work on next week? Now that may be an open question, at which point I press done. Then that's fine, and they can just input, and they can input what they like there. So for my classes, if they're studying Hamlet, Paradise Lost, Duchess of Malfi, they can put which one they like in there. I could, if I go back to question, instead frame that question differently. Which text do you feel most confident on? And then there, notice here, with multiple choices, I don't need to select a correct answer. So let's put Hamlet, Paradise Lost, Duchess of Malfi. In there, I can add choices. I can allow multiple selections, so I can allow them that way to choose two of them if they wished, or one. So if I want to do that, I just select allow selection of multiple choices there. I can make this a required field here, which means that they have to answer the question to complete the survey. And I'm going to click upon that there, and then when I'm done, I can select done. So if I just go back here, if I want to edit that and make sure that is a required field, I highlight that question again, the top one, hit the cog, and if I want to ensure that that is a required field too, I just check it. Done. Let's look at some more question types. So if I go to question there, obviously text paragraph, which themes on Hamlet would you like to do some more on? On which themes would you like to do some more? Sorry, I'm correcting my grammar as well as I. On which themes on Hamlet would you like to do some more? And this would allow them to add a more detailed response. If we're moving down to more questions, then a tick box could require them tick this box if you would like to do more timed essays. Now, I'm not going to make that a required field because otherwise it requires that they tick it. So I'm just going to put done in there. But that indicates that they have ticked the box for me. Let's look again at another question type. I can include a date there. And let's put in there, select the date on which you would like to do a Hamlet passage question. How many timed essays would you like to do before the examination? I can make that a required field that they have to tell me something, so that can be 0 included. Or indeed I could put afterwards 0 is not a valid answer. But then they have to input a number within there. Let's look at another question. And this could be a file upload, so I could get them to upload a file for me. I'm not going to add that one to things. I personally don't find that a particularly useful function. But let's hit done there. Or let's just, because I don't want to do it, let's just hit the X there. When I'm done with that, I can publish it. And now what I'll find from there is it's a good idea to have a test drive of this to make sure that you've designed it correctly. So which text do you think you might want more work on? Let's say Hamlet. Which text do you feel most confident on? I'll say Paradise Lost. And which themes? I can see there that I've made a typo, so I will go back later and correct that if I need to. On which themes in Hamlet would you like to do some more? Let's say confusion. The supernatural. Women. Tick this box if you would like more timed essays. Now I'm going to tick that box to see what it looks like when I get the results. Select the date on which you would like to do a Hamlet essay, and notice here it pulls up for me. So yeah, I'll claim I want to do one on Monday. How many timed essays would you like to do before the examination? 3 sounds reasonable to me. So I will press submit there. And what I'm then going to do is hit fill in this form again, which takes me back to the page. Now, just so that I can have a look and see what the results are like, I'm going to hit display report. Now I can see here a summary of the information. And at the top here, at the bottom here, I can, once I've seen all of this, I can then hit explore full responses. Export full responses to CSV. Now I'm going to do that in one moment, but this provides a useful summary of information for me. I can of course filter this list. I think what I can also do there, which would be useful, is if I click upon any users that have completed it, I can actually go directly back to their form so that I can have a look at it. But I'm just going to click back from there. And I'm back here with the summary information. I'm going to click Export Full Responses to CSV now. And what this does is to spit out a CSV file for me, which is very similar to an Excel file. And I'm going to click on that, and it opens with Excel. And in a moment here, when it appears, what I have is I'm going to just click and highlight in the top left-hand corner here, and I'm going to double-click on a boundary between 2 columns. And what that does is automatically it auto-sizes this to the size of the responses. So as you can see here, I can collate all of this information for for multiple people in one place. And what I can see here is with the tick box one, what it spits out for me is if I've ticked the box, it says yes, and if I haven't ticked the box, it won't say anything, or it will say no. But this means that I can collate a lot of information in one place. So I can survey students about all sorts of things. I can, of course, also survey colleagues and collate that information quickly, a function which, of course, you will be asked to do in terms of selecting training and things, and which training sessions you'd like to go to. So I'm just going to close that. And I'm not going to bother saving that because I don't particularly want it. When I'm done here with this, I'll just click Return to the form. But before I do that, if I'm happy with it, I will click myself as a user, having test-driven it, and I will delete my own submission from there so it doesn't corrupt any later information. Then I'm going to return to the form. So now I may just go back to Edit Page, and if you notice here, we've got this starred element to things. That is saying that it's required as a field. Now I'm going to go back here, so I notice I don't have a star here. I forgot to put it in, and I'm going to edit. Now the first thing I'm going to change is the typo. On which themes would you like? On Hamlet, would you like to do some more? And I'm going to click Required Field, and then I'm going to click Done. And when I'm happy that's now a required field and that my typo is fixed, and I've gone through and worked out anything else that I think I need to change, then I hit Done, and then I am done. And that is how you create a form. Of course, with all of this, if I've gone through things too quickly, then please do come and ask. Thank you for listening.